September 1864. The closeness in time between the battles of the Ikeda Inn and the Imperial Palace created significant civil unrest with Kyoto. The Shinsengumi redoubled their efforts to keep safe, but the more they worked, the more the shogun put them to work. His approval of their activities meant more official business, and it stretched them thin. Even with recruits from Kyoto and Osaka, it wasn't enough. After many discussions, the Shinsengumi chose to recruit even more men from Edo, and Heisuke was tasked with preliminary scouting in the city. The hardened sun kissed our burning cheeks as Kondou and I saw Heisuke off, his grin wide and his bags packed from the night before.
Well, I'll be on my way now. Make sure no one causes trouble while I'm gone.
Okay. I promise to help as much as I can.
Find us a good crop of men, Heisuke. I'll join you there next month.
The plan was for Heisuke to hit Edo early and scope the potential men and have Kondou follow behind a month after to make the final say with recruits. Isn't there someone you mentioned wanting to see? I remember you saying something like that.
Oh, we never told you, Yukimura? I believe his name is Ito. He fights using the Hokoshin Ito style. And word is, he's well versed in strategy.
Truth be told, I don't really know him well, but I'm pretty sure he'll at least hear me out.
And that's more than enough. He's an imperialist. But if we approach him right, and with respect, he'll see fit to help us. I know he will.
Kondou nodded confidently, but Heisuke looked like he wasn't quite sure.
Anyway, I'm off. I'll do my best to find information on Kyoto 2 while I'm there, so just wait until I get back.
Okay, be careful! I watched him go, and the smaller his back became, the lonelier I felt. When I couldn't see him anymore, my heart twinged. I glanced up at Kondou. You look happy. You're thinking about all the new warriors you're getting, right?
Yeah, seeing our numbers increase is a wonderful thing. If they're strong and able, even better.
He puffed out his chest and grinned. His relief at recruiting new members reflected just how worried he must have been. I hadn't realized how much we were struggling. Kondou kept his men close to his heart, and now he could smile. Time passed quickly after Heisuke left, and a month soon went by. The day for Kondou to leave for Edo was upon us, and I saw him off the next morning. I came across Kondou in the yard, mired in his thoughts. Hello, Kondou.
Oh, it's you, Yukimura. Is something the matter?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I was just thinking about how you'll be on your way to Edo tomorrow.
True enough. Can't leave Heisuke hanging for too long, right?
It will be a little lonely around here once you've left headquarters, too.
Ah, don't worry. I'll only be gone a month. Toshi'll take care of everything while I'm away.
He didn't know his kind generosity and Heisuke's bright personality kept me going day after day here. They were the highlights of my restrictive life. With both of them gone, Kondou hadn't even left yet, and I was already feeling an uncontrollable loneliness sweep over me. It must have shown on my face because he suddenly looked troubled.
Oh yeah. Is there anything you want me to bring back for you from Edo? A memento from your hometown, perhaps?
Oh, no, I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me.
You sure? Is there anything else I can do for you? Anything that's in my power to grant, I will.
He was always so accommodating to me already. I didn't have any complaints. But there was something I desired for a while, but never had the nerve to ask before. Before you leave for Edo, could you train me?
Wait. Are you talking about learning swordplay?
Yes.
Oh no. No, that's a bad idea. I'm really aggressive when I teach. If I somehow hurt you, I wouldn't be able to face your father.
Oh.
But I have to say, that came out of nowhere. Did you have a reason?
His eyebrows furrowed in concern. If I'm going to help watch over the compound while you're gone, I want to be capable.
Oh, but you aren't one of the warriors, so I doubt you'd have to raise your sword.
You're right. But still, I want to be strong enough to be able to protect myself. At least the bare minimum if something were to happen. Having witnessed many battles with the Shinsengumi, it was pretty clear how far behind in skill I was. I would fall quickly if I dealt with similar battles. I knew I'd never be as strong as them, but war could still reach my doorstep someday. As well, I wanted to lessen the burden for my protectors. I tried my best to explain how I felt to Kondou, and eventually, he gave me a firm nod.
Understood. If you're that serious, I'd love to teach you what I can.
We found a cord to tie up my sleeves and set about training me. Normal Shinsengumi training revolved around real-life sparring with wooden swords. Kondou decided to go easy on me with a bamboo stick.
Let's get started. I have to warn you, though. Tennen Rishin style is a little rough.
Right! I'm ready!
Okay, let's begin with checking your stance. You said you were trained before, correct?
Yes. It was mostly for self-defense, but I did receive instruction in fighting with the Kodachi.
Good. That means you don't have to learn a new form. Get into the stance you've been taught.
Okay. Bamboo stick in hand, I moved into the familiar stance that I'd memorized during my training.
Too weak!
Like a whip, his harsh words stung as he barked.
If someone moves to attack you from the front, the first thing they'll reach is your sword and your sword arm. They'll knock your sword away if your grip is too weak. You must keep an eye out for that.
Okay. He hit me with his full brunt of his stringent teaching. I could see he was taking this seriously. He wasn't going easy on me because I was a girl.
Now you're holding on too tight. Given your slight build, you should do your best to avoid a strike from the front. To do that, you'll have to dodge and redirect the impact. But if you're grasping your sword tightly,
With Kondou's instructions, I practiced swinging the sword over and over, doing my best to learn and retain everything he was teaching me.
oh, it's getting late.
His words brought my head up and I blinked. The sun set without me realizing, pulling below, and the sky was now shades of red and purple. Suddenly, in the real world again, fatigue slammed into me and I collapsed to my knees. Thank you for doing this for me. Every limb was shaking, my clothes completely drenched in sweat. I sucked in air like I couldn't get enough of it. Kondou glanced over at me when I fell to the ground, and his strict teaching expression immediately switched to one of deep concern.
I'm sorry, Yukimura. What was I doing? I got so into it that I started pushing you way too hard.
I'm fine. The fact that you forgot and ended up teaching me that way, even though I'm not your student. Thank you. It made me really, really happy.
I see. If that's how you truly feel, then I'm glad there's a bright side to this at least.
His face was a mixture of relief and guilt.
I am very sorry. I haven't trained anyone like this since the old days, so I kind of fell back into it.
You mean before you came to Kyoto?
Right. Toshi, Souji, and Gen learned Tennen Rishin with me back at Shie Hall. Sonnen, Todo, Nagakura, and Harada joined us a little later. Oh, and Saito would come by sometimes too. We don't have the free time much anymore, but we used to test our skills against each other in bouts nearly every day.
If I remembered correctly, talk of the old days came up once one night when everyone was well into their sake. Kondou's families were farmers, but it was discovered that he had remarkable skill at sword fighting. The owner of Shei Hall decided to adopt him so he could continue training, and that's where he met Hijikata, along with everyone else. It must have been rough, doing all that training.
Yes, it was quite harsh, but strangely fulfilling. In a different way than our work now.
He gazed off into the distance, clearly reminiscing, and I felt a tiny pang of envy. If I had been born and raised near Mibu, would I have met all of them under different, better circumstances? Kondou turned to look at me kindly, a gentle smile on his face.
Earlier, you said you weren't my student, but...
Huh?
Since I, a 4th-generation master of Tennen Rishin, spent today training you, that more or less means you're now a disciple of the style as well. That would make you a student, like Toshi, Souji, and Gen.
Thank you! It was obviously not official, and it was barely a day's worth of instruction, but I was happy. I couldn't stop smiling. My heart felt so light. Kondou, I'm so grateful. Thank you for today. My mind and heart were still reflecting on the wonderful thing that just happened. I returned to my room with my head held high. I'd been staying there for a while now, but sometimes it still felt like I was baggage to them. They needed me for one thing and one thing only. I was never really a part of them, nor did I belong. But now, Kondou's words filled in some of the holes in my heart just a little, but I treasured the feeling. Smiling, I collapsed onto my futon. The strain and fatigue from earlier was a good feeling, and I let it drag me under to sleep.